The Detroit Lions get the win in the preseason finale, 24-17 over the Pittsburgh Steelers, and what a game it was. And this 53-man roster is going to be so tough. There's going to be so many, and I mean so many good players getting cut. And on my 53-man roster, this is why I'm getting this video out very quick, and it's going to be a little bit shorter because I got to get this out. I expect cuts to start happening later tonight. So I got to get this out quick, but what a game for the Detroit Lions. And yeah, there was a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to go over and a lot of stuff that happened. So we get to win 24-17, and we ended up going 2-1 during the preseason. We went 2-1 last year. I believe we lost to the Jaguars last year. We lost to the Giants this year. But Hendon Hooker, we only had two quarterbacks on the day. Nate Suckfield did not play, which is very interesting to me, which probably means he's going to make the roster. And I'm talking about 53 man. I don't understand how that's possible, but Hendon Hooker, he went 12 for 20, 114, one touchdown, one pick. However, that interception that he did was not on him. It was on Isaiah Williams. He quit running his route, so I'm not blaming Hooker on that at all. I thought he had a very good day. He almost had 100 yards rushing as well. Jake Fromm, 6 for 8, 89, clean game as well. Jake Fromm, even though stats are not wild or anything, but he took all of the opportunity he got. He really, really did. I think Jake Fromm has made himself a chance to make this practice squad. And again, realistically, he should be over Sudfeld. He should make the team over Sudfeld. If we're keeping three quarterbacks, it should be Hooker, Goff, and Fromm, not Sudfeld. But Jake Fromm, I think, had made a legitimate case to make the practice squad. And I'm all here for it. He has a very strong arm, I realized. On to the running game. It was very good. Hendon Hooker led us. We went 10. He had 10 for 93. Very good day by Hooker on the run. He is such a good quarterback in the running ability. I don't like quarterbacks. When we play against quarterbacks that run, I don't like it. But when we have a running quarterback, it's so nice. I've realized that because we haven't had a running quarterback since, I don't even know. It's been that long. Like, I don't know when the last time we've had an actual running quarterback has been. Josh Johnson, maybe, back in, I think it was 2019 when we had him. It's been a long time since we've had a running quarterback. Jake Funk actually took advantage of the opportunity he got today, 10 for 40. He also had a reception touchdown. He had a very good day. However, he should have had two reception touchdowns. One of those incompletions that Fromm had should have been a touchdown to Jake Fromm through the air. It was about a 30-yard pass. Jake Fromm, thought was going to get... He thought that he was going to take a big hit on the reception when he probably wouldn't have. So if Jake Fromm would have caught that ball, which he should have, it would have been a touchdown. So he would have had two on the day and probably would have had a chance to make the practice squad. He did have a nice day. I still think he does have a small chance to make the practice squad, but I'd be a little bit surprised. Jamar Jefferson, 9 for 29, two touchdowns, had a very nice day as well. And I think Jamar Jefferson, I've always been a Jefferson guy. I liked him a lot when we drafted him and liked him in 2021. I don't know if he's going to be able to make this team. We have our four running backs on the 53-man. Monty, Gibbs, Reynolds, and Vacky. They actually didn't play Reynolds at all today, and I think Vacky only had... Vacky did not even have a run on the day. So they did not play Sione Vacky. So which means he is a lock to make the team, obviously. But that also means Craig Reynolds is a lock to make the team. But from the running game we got today, we have three running backs completing for one or two practice squad spots with Jake Funk, Jefferson, and Knight. And I think Jefferson did enough today to potentially make the practice squad. He had a couple of receptions as well, I believe. Zonovan Knight struggled today, 10 for 27. I mean, he did have a couple nice runs, but a lot of the runs he also got stuffed. But I'm going to blame part of that on the offensive line. The offensive line was terrible the first half. The first 1.5 quarters, they allowed 5 sacks. The first 1.5 quarters. In the middle of the second half, or middle of the second quarter, we allowed 5 sacks. We've already allowed 5 sacks. We were on pace to allow 20 sacks that game. Like, it was ridiculous. Hooker could not get rid of the ball whatsoever. Not his fault, obviously. Maurice Alexander had a nice day on the receiving game. I think he made a push now to make the practice squad. 4 receptions for 60 yards. he definitely has a chance to make the practice squad. I don't think he does, just because he's again another small body receiver. But he has had a solid preseason. I believe he's had over 100 yards during the preseason. So I think he has a chance to make the practice squad, but it's the fact that I think he might not make it is because of his size. And you see it here, Jalen Calhoun, 2 receptions, 37 yards. He's not making the team. He had a false start today. He's not been involved at all this preseason. He's probably going to be one of the first guys to get cut, honestly. Shane Zylstra, you saw him in my preview video, 4 receptions for 29 yards. Shane Zylstra, I think, is tight end number 4, or tight end number 3. Shane Zylstra is made to the team over James Mitchell. I think he really has, and it's unfortunate. I studied James Mitchell a lot during college. I loved when we drafted the guy. I thought the guy could very well turn into a starting tight end for us if Hawkinson was to leave, which did end up being the case, but then we ended up taking Sam Laporta. But unfortunately, I don't think James Mitchell makes the team, and he's not going to clear through waivers because of what he did in college, and I thought he also had a very nice 2021 season, so I don't think James Mitchell makes the team or practice squad. I think he will come to an end as a Detroit Lion, unfortunately. But good day by Shane Zylstra. I thought it did have a drop, but James Mitchell did as well. James Mitchell actually had 2 drops. Caden Davis, 2 receptions, 27 yards. This receiving core is not set. There is no way this receiving core is set. And we got our 3. We know this 3. We've had this 3 since the end of the draft. It's been St. Brown, J-Mo, and Raymond. Those have been our 1, 2, 3. But no guy, in my opinion, stepped up to the point in preseason where they're like, oh yes, they can be our wide receiver 4. They can be that X receiver. I don't think anybody did that. So I fully expect the Lions to be picking up a guy on the waiver wire, or it could be a guy like Hakeem Butler. I don't think so because Hakeem Butler was on the market for a long time in free agency. So I don't think that he will be a Detroit Lion because they've already had a long time to pick him up. But you never know. But they're going to be looking at the waiver wire. They're going to be looking at the current free agents, and they're going to be looking at potential trade as well. So, but we are definitely going to probably find a new wide receiver number 4. And I don't shoot me. I think it could be Michael Thomas. Don't shoot me. I think it could be Michael Thomas because, again, he has the relationship with Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn. He might not fit the culture, but maybe he has grown over the years. Maybe he is more, what do you want to call it, more mature. So I think Michael Thomas has a legitimate chance to become a Detroit Lion. He's that big body receiver. He's the biggest body receiver left in free agency in terms of production-wise. He's 6'4", I believe. So he would fill that Josh Reynolds replacement, not in terms of production necessarily, but in terms of that size, he would replace it. And arguably he's a little bit better than Josh Reynolds at pushing the field as well. So I could very well see a Michael Thomas becoming a Detroit Lion, or we could be trading for a guy like Robert Woods, who has the connection with Jared Goff. Sean McKeon, 1 reception, 14. Isaiah Williams, 1 reception, 17. And that's about it in the receiving game. Sean McKeon will not be on this team. Neither will Tom Kennedy. Isaiah Williams, I still think, makes the team. Isaiah Williams is a very good punt returner as well. I think Isaiah Williams, if Khalif Raymond struggles with this new kickoff rule, well, he won't be doing kickoffs. I don't know why, by the way. In my preview video, I did say Jared Goff and Raymond were suited up. They were. That is confirmed. They were suited up. So I guess they were just suited up for the practice before the game because they were not suited up during game time. So don't know what that was about. So, but that is true. They were readied up. And yeah, that's about it. I think Isaiah Williams makes his team right now. I'm actually not going to spoil it because you'll see it my 53-man roster prediction probably coming out in here about an hour or two. But it's going to be very, very interesting. I don't even know who I'm going to have on the team. Defensive side of the ball. Oh, I got to talk about this guy right here. This guy right here, you see him, number 25. Ty Summers. You go check my Twitter. I said he was playing like Brian Urlacher today, and I'm being 100% real. He was playing like Brian Urlacher. He was a dog today, and I think he makes this team. I think Ty Summers makes the team. Former 7th-round pick backed by the Pack, I believe, in 2019. He makes the team. 1.5 sacks today. Ty Summers 1.5. He balled out last week as well. And he didn't play week 1. We didn't sign him until week 2. Ty Summers makes his team. He really does. I don't know about 53-man because Ben Neiman, I don't think, played today, which probably means that he will make the team and the 53-man, which means he will be the Anthony Pittman replacement. But we don't, if we keep 7 linebackers, we usually do, on the practice squad or 53-man, Ty Summers would be that extra guy, and I think he makes the practice squad. I legitimately actually have him over Ben Neiman. I think I saw more stuff I liked from Ty Summers than I did Ben Neiman. I did like what Ben Neiman did during his first 2 games, but I liked a little bit more what I saw out of Ty Summers. But I think Ty Summers makes the practice squad. I mean, he legitimately, I'm being 100% for real, he played like Brian Urlacher today. I mean, he was unbelievable. He was really the only guy that stood out, though, on defense for me, like, stood out majorly. It was Ty Summers. Stephen Gilmore, 5 tackles, led the team, but he got burnt twice for 30 yards. Stephen Gilmore will not be on this team. Maybe practice squad, but he does not make the 53-man roster, and I think he will not clear through waivers to go on the practice squad. I could see a team like the Vikings picking him up through waivers because they still need a cornerback. They just picked up Gillilock a couple days. They could reunite Gilmore and Gilmore. So I don't think Stephen Gilmore makes this team, though. At least 53-man roster. And that's about it on terms of defensive side of the ball. Mitchell Aguado, I don't think did enough today to make the team. Maybe practice squad. Should be able to make the practice squad, but I don't think he did enough to make the 53-man. Isaac Onku had another sack today, so he ended the preseason with 3 sacks. And I think he does make this team. I really do. I didn't really know. I wasn't that big of a fan of Isaac Onku, but I think he did enough to make this team. Whether that's 53-man or practice squad, you'll see in my prediction, but I think he does make this team, either 53-man or practice squad. Sheelan Garnes, I thought, had a couple nice plays today. Brandon Joseph as well. James, the problem, Houston. Finally got his first sack back since 2022. James Houston, I think, did enough today to make this team. Just barely, because he was getting some pass rush, and I think he does make this team. But, I'm going to say it again. I say it then, and I say it again. We still need an edge rusher. We still need an edge rusher. Whether that's Yannick Ngakoue, whether that's Maji Sanders, whether that's a guy who gets released, whether that's a guy who we trade for, we still need an edge rusher. James Houston makes his team, I think, because of today. If he did not play well today, or if he did not play in general, I don't think he makes this team. But he did enough today, just enough to make this team. But that does not take away the fact that we still need an edge rusher. Same with Isaac Onku, does not take the fact away. The Joel guy that we signed this week, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name. Joel, well, I guess I will. Joel Ayungbanue. I don't know how you say that. He had a half a sack today. Thought he made some nice plays, but of course, he only saw 1 game. He doesn't make this team, unfortunately. I did like what I saw, though. And that's about it. Darius Fountain, didn't talk about him up here. But Darius Fountain did nothing. It's crazy, man. Hooker did a deep shot to him around the 10-yard line, and Darius Fountain dropped it. I think Darius Fountain had 1 or 2 receptions during the preseason. Darius Fountain's not making this team. And it's crazy because, I mean, he had a very good training camp. Every day he was doing something good. But he did nothing during preseason. Unfortunately, he's not making this team. Maybe he'll make the practice squad because of his size, but he does not make this 53-man. And DPJ, you see him down here as well, did nothing either today. He was out there for quite a while as well. Had 0 receptions. Again, DPJ, in my opinion, does make this team. He won't pass through waivers, so there's a spoiler for you. He does make my 53-man roster. But he could very well be a guy who's on the team for a couple weeks, and then if he does nothing, he's not on the team after that. And to round out, Maurice Alexander had 2 for 54 in kick returns. Williams had 1 for 37, and Funk had 1 for 28. And Williams had 3 for 31 on punt returns. Jake Bates was 1 for 2, missed a 30-yard field goal today. I'm not really too concerned about it. He hit the ball bad. It's not like... It might have been a bad snap, too. I can't tell. But I'm not going to blame it too much on him. He does need to work on his accuracy, but he has the leg to, I think, overcome the accuracy part. Jack Fox had another nice day. Long snapper competition. Not going to spoil it here. I thought Hogan Hatton had another good day today. Didn't see much from Scott Daly. But Scott Daly obviously has been with the team for a couple years, so you'll see who I have as our long snapper on the 53-man rush prediction. So look forward to that. That'll be out in I would say, around the next 2 or 3 hours here. I want to get it out today. It will for sure be out today. Don't know what time, but I expect it to be out in the next 2 or 3 hours because I want to get it out before cuts start happening, and cuts should start happening, I would say, around 8 o'clock, somewhere around there Central Time. Dan Campbell said in his press conference this week that the Lions, that he will be on it. Him and Brad Holmes will be on it this year for cuts. So expect cuts to start happening tonight. Obviously not a whole lot, but I'd say around at least probably 5 to 10 guys will get cut tonight potentially. So one pride, go Lions. Lions get the W, and it's there's gonna be some good guys cut. That's all I gotta say.